crochet friends and family, welcome to another tutorial. Today we'll be working on that elegant rectangle shawl you've seen in the beginning photos. It's an easy 2-row repeat, and I'm very surprised that this pattern has not been made, written, or put into a video. Yes, there are other rectangle shawls out there, but not in these stitches and an easy 2-row repeat. I was working on these stitches in another pattern, and I was like, how cool would it be to try this in a rectangle and just repeat these two? And I tried it, and it just turned out so beautiful. And since it is a rectangle shawl, you will need to measure in height to find out how many chains you're going to need. For the one that's in the picture, it measures about 17 inches, and you could do it in the width, you know, if you want to do it lengthwise, which is fine. Just remember, you'll have to chain a lot of chains. So I don't know what that would be, but as long as it, you know, is divisible by 3 or in multiples of 3, either way you do it, it's still, I'm sure, will look just perfect or beautiful. But for this one, I'm suggesting, of course, measuring in height, because that's the way we're going to be doing it. And I'm actually going to show you how to put a border on there if you opt to. And I'm trying to think. Oh, today I'm using an 8mm hook for this pattern because I'm using Hobby Lobby's I Love This yarn. I believe this is cream, and it just shows up really nicely on the camera. And what else is there that well, you know, let me just show you what I'm talking about with this shawl that I made. So for this one here, if you were to of course, you know, we are making it this way. I mean, it's going to be worked in going up, like in the width, but we have to measure it in height. So the chain needs to be measured in height. So this one is about 17 inches. And for this one here, I use this yarn here, which is Loops and Threads. And the color is called Mauve. Yeah, mauve. But however, it looks maroon. So I don't know why it's called mauve, but it's very pretty. But it's very thin. It's, when I say it's like thread, it feels like yarn, but it's very thin. And I used a 5.0 hook for this one. And I think it calls for like a size, what is the size of this hook? I think it recommends a, I know I've seen it on here before. You probably can see it better on the camera. Oh, I think it calls for a 3.5mm hook. And I used, like I said, a 5.0 H hook. That's the one that I used for that pattern. And it just, you know, it gives it a nice drape, of course. And that's what you want for a shawl. And this one here, I don't have the white label. I mean, the cream colored label. I think it's cream or soft white, I forget. But for this one, you know, this calls for a hook size of, well, it's 7 ounces. That one's only 3.5, but the hook they recommend for this one is a, oh goodness, I believe it says a 5mm hook. Yeah, I guess, or an 8, which is what we're using. So it says US 8 or 5mm. Well, I'm using an 8mm. So I don't know. It does say US 8, but then it says 5mm. So I don't know. But anyway, I'm using the Hobby Lobby cream because it does show up. I'll show you the comparison of the string, which is kind of wild when you compare the string to this yarn here. I mean, you can see how thin the maroon one is, or mauve, what they call it. I mean, it is thin. So, but it's just easier for me to show you with this yarn. And I'm only doing like a sample size. And yeah, trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to mention. But it is a very beautiful shawl, and it just lays very nicely. I will show you what I'm talking about, just so so of course, you know, when you're making lengthwise, I would suggest like 5 feet, because they do say, you know, it should be at least I'm getting tongue twisted. It should be the length of your arms expanded out. So what we're doing is we're making, of course, a rectangle shawl, right? And we are starting, you need to measure in height this way, right? Because that's the way we're going to be working it. And then we're, you know, of course, working this way. I mean, you could start and work it this way. It's a lot of chains, but it'd be shorter to work up. So it, you know, it just depends on what height you want it. But we are starting with measuring it this way. And I'm actually going to show you how to put a border on this as well. You can opt out of the border, and I'll show you how to do that as well. So I hope that helps understand it a little better. Okay. All right. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is get a slip knot onto our hook. I like to do it this way. You may have your own way. Any way works. I like to make like an X, insert my hook, pull up my yarn, give it a nice little twirl, and just gently pull. I don't want this too tight against my hook because I do need to work back into that stitch. First thing I'm going to do is yarn over and pull through that loop on my hook. That's my first chain. Yarn over, pull through, that's my second. Yarn over, pull through, that's my third. Yarn over, pull through, that's my fourth. Yarn over, pull through, that's my fifth. Yarn over, pull through, that's my sixth. So just remember, you want to work in whatever size, you know, whatever height you are going to go for, and make sure it's divisible by 3. So you need 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then you want to add one more at the end. So I am doing a total of 19 stitches. I'm doing 18, which is divisible by 3, plus 1. All right, go ahead and do your chain and I'll meet you right back. Alrighty, so I have my chain of 19, and I wanted to show you, in case you don't want to have a border and you just want to jump into making the V's and the stitches, what you'd want to do is chain up 2 more. And remember, you never count the loop that's on your hook. I hope you know that. If not, I'm telling you right now, we never count the one that was on our hook. So this is technically our first stitch right here, underneath right there. So that's technically our first stitch. So what you want to do is chain up 2 more. You're going to skip 2. Well, after you chain up 2 more, you'll have 3. Then you're going to skip 2. So technically, you'll be working into the 6th stitch. Make a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, skip 2, 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 double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, skip 1, 2, and then work just a double crochet into that space right there. Now, if you want to do a border of just single crochet right across, you would just not chain up anything, just immediately work into that 2nd chain and start working your single crochets all the way back. If you want to do a half double crochet, you would chain up 1 more and start right here and work your half double crochet all the way back. If you want to do a double crochet, you could chain up 2 more and immediately start your double crochets into that stitch right there. Since we are doing a row of treble crochet, we are going to chain up 3 more. So I have my 19 stitches. So this will be 20, 21, and 22. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to count as my treble crochet. So into the 5th stitch right here, we are going to yarn over twice on our hook, go into the very 5th stitch right here, insert your hook, pull up your yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And there you have your first treble crochet, but technically our second because we count this one as our first. So technically we have 2 treble crochets. We're going to work that all the way back. So yarn over twice, just like so. Insert your hook into the very next stitch, which is right here. We already worked into that one. Go into the next one, insert your hook, pull up your yarn, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over twice, insert your hook into the next stitch right here. Work a treble crochet, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Again, yarn over twice, insert your hook into the very next stitch, pull up your yarn, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And we're going to continue that all the way down. Yarn over twice, insert your hook, pull up your yarn, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So go ahead and continue all the way down, and I'll meet you back right before we get to the end. Up on my last 3 stitches here. So I'm going to work these 3 up. I'm coming into my last stitch right here. Okay, now before we go on any further, I would highly suggest that you count up your stitches, only because you don't want to get to the next row and realize, oh, wait a minute. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 is my divisible by 3, plus my 1 is 19. We're ready to move on to the next row. So what we're going to do, and this starts our very first row of our repeat. Well, not really. It kind of does, but it kind of isn't. But, well, you'll see. All right, so go ahead and chain up 3. 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to turn our work around. And, of course, I gotta get my yarn on my other side here. Okay. Now, this stitch is technically counting for this one. It looks like there's a stitch ready to go right into here, but we're not going into that one. So technically this is this stitch right here. So we're going to skip 1 and 2, which looks like 3. It looks like technically 1, 2, 3, but we're only skipping 1 and 2. And we're going into this third stitch right here. And we're going to work a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. So go ahead and yarn over your hook. Remember, we're not going into this one. We're skipping 1 and 2 and into this one right here. Insert your hook, pull up your yarn, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, chain 2, 1 and 2, yarn over, and insert your hook right back into that same stitch we just worked into. Just like so. Pull up your yarn, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Go ahead and yarn over your hook. We are going to skip 1 and 2 and into the third one right here. We are going to insert our hook, pull up our yarn, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and chain 2. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over. Insert your hook into that same exact stitch that we already worked our double crochet. Pull up your yarn, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And you should have 2 V's so far, plus our very first chain 3 that we made. So we're going to continue that right across. So go ahead and yarn over, skip 1, 2, into the next, we're going to work a double crochet, chain 2, and then another double crochet right into that same stitch. Skip 2, 1, 2, and into the next, a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. Now mine's kind of small, of course, so I mean this still could be a very nice tiny shawl. Actually, it would probably make a nice scarf if we went this way with it and just up and around, but we are working this way and I'm sure yours is a lot longer. So what we're going to do is I'm coming up towards the end, so I'm just going to show you what we do. So here I just did my last V. We skip 2 and into this one we go and do another V. And then we are going to skip 1, 2, and we're at our chain. And at the top of that chain, 1, 2, 3, and 4, right here, we're going to insert our hook and do a double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull your yarn through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And that concludes that row. Okay. Now on to the second row. Chain up 3, 1, 2, and 3. I already turned my work. If you hadn't already, go ahead and turn your work over. Yarn over, and now we're going to go right into that very first V right here. And into that V stitch, we're going to work, put our hook through, pull up our yarn, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2 for a double crochet. Yarn over, insert your hook back into that same space, pull up your yarn, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, chain 1, yarn over, insert your hook back into that same space, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2 for another double crochet. And I need more yarn. Excuse me for 1 second. Okay. Back into that same space, we're going to yarn over and do another double crochet. So you should have, in that V, you should have 2 double crochets, a chain 1, and 2 double crochets, plus our chain 3 over here on the side. Okay, moving right along, yarn over, and into the next V, we're going to do the same thing. A double crochet, another double crochet into that same V, chain 1, and then another double crochet, and another double crochet, all into that same V. Just like that. And we're going to do that all the way back across. So insert your hook, pull up your yarn, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, chain 1, yarn over, insert your hook into that same space, pull up your yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook, pull up your yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And it just makes such a pretty pattern. So technically this will be our second row repeat, but we had to start this foundation row of V's first. So the next one will be our first row repeat, which will be just like this, and then this will be our second row repeat. So go ahead and continue all the way down, and I will meet you back here. I'm just going to work this right on through this video because of course mine's short, and then I'll meet you right here. Okay, so I'm coming up on my chain 3 that we made from the previous row, and it's the last stitch, of course. So what we want to do is we want to count up 1, 2, and 3, and we're going to yarn over, and in the top of that chain 3 space, we're going to insert our hook, just like so, pull up our yarn, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, just like that. And we're going to do that on every single row from here on out. And that's what you should have so far. Okay, so next row, now this begins our first row repeat. So go ahead and chain up 3, 1, 2, and 3. Turn your work around, yarn over, go right into the chain 1 space that we did in the previous row. We did our 2 double crochets and then we did a chain 1 right into that space. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull up your yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, chain 2, 1 and 2, yarn over and do another double crochet into that same space right here. Insert your hook, pull up your yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And we're going to work that all the way back down again, right into every single chain 1 space that we just worked. Okay, so yarn over, insert your hook, pull up your yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, chain 2, insert your hook into that same space, pull up your yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, moving right along. Again, into this next space, a double crochet, chain 2, and another double crochet into that same space. Into the next one, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet into that same space, and into here, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. So go ahead and continue along, and then of course I'm going to show you how, the same as we did the last time, we're going to count up 1, 2, and 3 into the top of that chain 3 space. We're going to yarn over our hook, insert our hook into the top of that chain 3. As you can see, right? You can see that, I'm sure. This little loop right here, insert your hook, pull up your yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And that concludes that row. And that's technically our second row repeat. The next one will be our first. And then we'll go back and, oh no, this was our first row repeat. I'm so sorry. That's technically our first row repeat. The next one will be this row, and that will be our second. And that's all it is, back and forth, back and forth. So go ahead, when you are finished, of course, you're going to chain up 3, 1, 2, and 3. Turn your work around, and this is when we start to do this pattern right here. Yarn over, insert your hook into that V, 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 more double crochets into that same space. And this is how easy it is, and it just works up so pretty when it's laying like this. It's so pretty, and it's going, you know, it just, even this, it drapes so nicely. Okay, so yarn over, jump right into that next space, do 2 double crochets, chain 1, another 2 double crochets, into the next, 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 more double crochets, and that's all we're doing all the way across in every single V. So simple. And then when we get to here, we count up the 1, 2, 3 and work a double crochet into there. So I'm coming up on my last V. Chain 1, 2 double crochets. And then yarn over, and count up 1, 2, and 3, and then at the top of that chain 3, you're going to work a double crochet. So insert your hook, pull up your yarn, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And it's that simple. Can't get much easier than that, right? So next we're going to chain up 3, 1, 2, and 3. Yarn over into that space right there. Insert your hook, pull up your yarn, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, chain 2, and work another double crochet right into that space. Yarn over, jump into the next one. So it's really like a no-brainer. If you're just sitting crocheting, it's so easy. There's no counting, all you're doing is jumping right into the next one and working your V's, or you're working 2 with a chain 1. Can't get easier than that, right? But when it's laying this way, it just looks like somebody put a lot of work into that. So that's what you want to continue to do. I'm going to go ahead and work up my rows, and I will meet you back here to show you how what row I end on to do this part so it equals. Maybe you're not going to put one, but I'll still show you how to do this, okay? So I went ahead and worked up a couple more rows, and I want to show you how we do the treble crochet border at the end. So I stopped. You need to stop on the V stitch row, and I have one more to make right here into this stitch. So I'm going to go ahead and make my V. And then of course yarn over, and I'm going to work my double crochet in the top of this chain 3 right here, like we always do. Then we're going to chain up 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Turn our work around. And now we're going to work our treble crochets back. So go ahead and yarn over twice on your hook. And we're going to go into this space right here before the V. So into this space right here, we're just going to insert our hook, pull up our yarn, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Whoops, that just totally fell off my hook. Let's do that again. For me anyway, I yarned over twice, insert my hook into that space, pull up your yarn, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over twice, and into this V stitch we're going to work 2 treble crochets. So insert your hook, pull up your yarn, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over twice, insert your hook into this V, pull up your yarn, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over twice, and into this space between the V's right here, we're going to work a treble crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook. I'm a little bit ahead of the game here. All right, let me just do this treble crochet. I don't want to confuse you. So now we're going to work 2 treble crochets into this V. So yarn over twice, insert your hook, pull up your yarn, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over twice, back into that same V. Insert your hook, pull up your yarn, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Into the space between the V's, we're going to work another treble crochet. And that's what we're going to do all the way back down. It's 2 into the V's and 1 into the space between the V's. Okay? I'm working into my last V stitch right here, and I'm working 2 treble crochets into that V. And then of course I'm going to work another treble crochet in between this chain 3 and the V. So we're going to work another treble crochet right into that space. And then we're going to work another treble crochet into the top of that chain 3 space. So go ahead and insert your hook, pull up your yarn, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Then yarn over and pull through the loop on your hook, pull that up, and I need to find my scissors, and just cut your yarn and pull that through. And that's what you should have as your beautiful rectangle shawl. And it just looks so pretty. It almost looks like little crosses and like half of flowers, and it's just so pretty. I love it. And I'm just going to show you very quickly how I sew in my ends, which I'm not a sewer. I don't like really to sew, but as soon as I find my darning needles. I have so much stuff everywhere. I don't know where they are. So give me 1 second. There it is. Okay. So very simply, we're going to put the yarn into our hook. Well, into that space, into the needle, not the hook. Sometimes I call this a needle, sometimes I call this a hook. Go figure. And I'm just going to gently push it in through this yarn right here. And then I like to bring it through. I also like to try and get it onto in between some of the strands and just push it through just like that, because it's already into a knot. But you don't want it coming apart on someone who's wearing it. And so then I'm just going to pull it through, and then I'm going to make like a little bit of a knot by putting it back into like a loop there and pulling that through kind of tightly. Not too tight, but you want to straighten that back out. And then just weave it in and around. And I think that's all I'm going to do right there. And then of course you want to do the other side as well, where we started. Unless you want to make, what you could do is turn this, if you wanted to, you could make it into tassels too. You know, in each stitch maybe include this and then make a tassel maybe every 3, which would be really pretty too. If somebody likes, you know, some tassels. And then I just pull that through. And voila, that's it. I mean, a nice little sample size, but I wanted this video to be short. And, you know, of course, if you were making it long ways or making this into like a nice, pretty even scarf for the winter, that's what it would look like that way. But this way would be the rectangle way. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. And if you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you made it, I would love to see it. I still don't have an Instagram or anything like that up, but I will post it onto some of the channels and hopefully you'll see it there. And please comment below if you have any questions or want to express anything. And that's about it. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day or evening, whichever it is. And thanks.